Live from Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township, Baycats TV presents the Inter-County Baseball League. And this afternoon, it's the London Majors in town to take on the defending IBL champions, the Barrie Baycats. Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Along with Maddie Gale and Julius Hern, I'm Ben Davy. Here we are, game number 42, the final game of the regular season, and there is plenty at stake for both of these teams. The winner of today's game will clinch the number 2 seed in the postseason playoff pairings. And for the Barrie Baycats, it is the final game of the regular season, but manager Josh Matlow said to us he considers the playoffs start today.
Absolutely, and Rube Chandernat, the manager of the London Majors, he shares the same sentiment. So we're going to see some top quality lineups today, very similar to what both of these teams are going to show out in the playoffs. For Josh Matlow's Baycats, Brandon Hernandez, Francisco Hernandez back after serving a 1-game suspension yesterday. They're going to be key to getting this lineup started. A really rough start offensively yesterday. Only 2 hits for the Baycats in the first 6 innings against the Cardinals. So having them that number 2 spot, number 3 spot in the order should get them started right away.
There are lots of question marks about the London Majors at the start of the season, but they put together another outstanding year. Here they are battling for the number 2 playoff spot, and today the Baycat lineup that you speak of is going to face one of the best pitchers in the IBL.
Victor Payano getting the start today for the London Majors. He's been right behind Frank Garces kind of all year long in terms of the strikeout totals. He's at 105, Garces at 113, so there's a very good chance that Payano could get up and pass Frank Garces for that strikeout title maybe sometime in this game. He's faced the Baycats earlier this year, so he knows what the hitters offer. The Baycats hitters know what Payano offers.
Baycats and Majors with a chance to clinch second place on the line. We'll have the starting lineups for you and today's first pitch when we return.
I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Way to go, Tammy, and congratulations on winning the auction to sing the anthem today. Always. And her partner Lee Harrigan at these games, and loyal Baycat fans for many, many years. And boy, what a turnout we have here this afternoon. It looks like the bleachers are pretty much packed. It might be a standing room only crowd today here, Julius.
Yeah, this is a fantastic crowd, Ben. The first and only Sunday afternoon game of the regular season, so it's kind of been a long time coming. At 3 of these last year, so fans have been seemingly craving this kind of baseball this time of day, and the stakes are as high as ever, at least in the regular season, with second place on the line.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the lineup for Roop Chanderdats London Majors today. The leadoff hitter is shortstop Francisco Fajardo. Toby Simmons is in center field, batting second. Eduardo De Olio behind the plate, hitting third. DH is Byron Reichstein. He's in the cleanup spot. In left field is Tucker Zdunik in left field, batting fifth. Rafael Peltier is at first, batting sixth. Brad Verhoeven at third base, hits seventh. Ty Mosher at second, hitting eighth. And the number 9 hitter is right fielder Ken Sugi.
And starting for the Barrie Baycats, the big right-hander Juan Benitez, coming into this game with a 5-2 record, an ERA of 4.05 in 12 appearances this year. This is his 12th start of the year. He had one relief appearance, and that relief appearance was a scoreless 2 innings against the London Majors earlier this year right here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You know, he's seemingly trying to cement his place as maybe the number 2 starter for the Baycats ahead of the playoffs. So this is a big game, and he's a big moment pitcher.
Yesterday's starter, Cesar Rosado, did not fare well. Pitched just 2 1/3, allowed 5 runs, 4 earned on 3 hits, and got an early hook as nothing just seemed to go right for him out there on the mound yesterday. A 7-4 loss to the Hamilton Cardinals. So Juan Benitez will look to reverse those misfortunes here today.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, the offense wasn't, having his back really early on. Like only 2 hits across those first 6 innings. So even offensively for the Barrie Baycats today, getting runs early and often is going to be key.
It's turned into a very warm, sunny afternoon after a cool morning and early afternoon. The temperature dropped about 10 degrees from 24 hours ago, but we're up to about 22 degrees right now. With the Humidex, it feels like 25, and the wind is blowing out to left field. We've had a nice wind from the north for the last couple of days. And some cooler weather is definitely in store for next week as we get ready for round 1 of the postseason. Playoff vibes in the air and around the ballpark here today for sure.
Just an entirely different feel, knowing what's on the line, final game of the regular season, but also knowing playoffs are just 4 days away as well.
Majors wearing road black with white pinstripes. Baycats with the home whites and the blue lettering, red numbers. And we are ready to play as Juan Benitez rocks into the windup. First pitch, a called strike at 4:11. Here at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township. Our home plate umpire today is Ryan Herron, Scotty Costello at first, and Don Michelle behind the bag at third. The second pitch from Benitez is inside. Count even, 1-1.
It feels like you can already tell right away Fajardo looking to bunt. He didn't even have the bat on his shoulder those last couple pitches.
On the ground, a high hop to second. Hernandez with a running throw in time. 1 out in the inning.
Well, here's the defense for the Barrie Baycats behind Juan Benitez. In the outfield from left to right, same starters as yesterday. Tristan Clark in left, Noel McGarry-Doyle in center, Clayton Keys in right. Much different infield, in fact, entirely different infield from yesterday. Adam Ott at third, Brandon Hernandez at short, Francisco Hernandez at second. Hayden Jaco started at shortstop yesterday. He's at first, and Tyler Plumpton's back behind the plate for Juan Benitez.
The Cardinals managed 14 hits off the Baycats yesterday, and it felt like about half of them were bunts. And there you see Toby Simmons scoring to bunt again. Have to wonder if the London Majors might try a similar approach. It worked on the Baycats 24 hours ago. This is a team that can play small ball as well. Swing and a miss by Simmons.
Well, Francisco Fajardo, who led off, he leads the IBL in sacrifice hits with 9, and Toby Simmons right behind him. So this team knows how to play that situational, fundamental small ball type of baseball.
Benitez working very quickly. 0-2 on the way. Called strike 3. Brought to you by IMP North. 2 quick outs here in the first.
Very different start with Juan Benitez in terms of the pace. We saw with Cesar Rosado yesterday how long he was taking in between pitches, and that's been kind of a trend for him all year long, but Juan Benitez getting after it right away.
Eduardo De Olio, the catcher now, will bat with 2 away in the top of the first. Here's the pitch on the way from Benitez. It's a first pitch strike, so Benitez really attacking that strike zone early here.
This is what's worked for Benitez in some of his best outings earlier this year. First pitch strikes.
That one close, but just a little high. 1-1. DeOlio hitting .314.
He gets the start behind the plate today. He was DHing a lot after the addition of Raphael Pelletier.
And how about this? This is his 42nd game, the only London major to play in all 42 games here in the regular season.
A couple more in this game. Toby Simmons.
Oh, yep. I see Simmons there with 41. So we've got two majors who played all 42 games this year. That reliability and consistency is definitely a manager's dream.
It's interesting. You see a lot of those players at the top of the orders across the league ended up getting to 42 games.
Foul back to the screen. 3-2 the count.
Ryan Dos Santos of Toronto played his 42nd game, usually a leadoff hitter for Toronto. Look at guys like Jonah Weisner, Brendan Luther, and Wellen. Those are guys that hit the top of the order. Weisner usually a leadoff guy himself.
Well, it's a short season. They pack a lot of games into the 3 months or so that the regular season consists of. And Benitez loses the number 3 hitter DeOlio. Runner on for the majors. Here's Byron Reichstein.
Hitter number 22, Byron Reichstein.
Just 18 walks now in the season for Juan Benitez. Really strong strikeout to walk ratio for him, and also for Victor Payano, who we'll see a little later on.
Payano right behind Frank Garces for the strikeout lead. And a first pitch strike to Byron Reichstein. Reichstein hitting .257. This is his 30th game. 3 homers, 16 RBIs. Pitch is inside, 1-1.
Reichstein was the starting DH for the South team in the All-Star game.
Holds the bat low, waits, here's the pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2 now. One on, 2 out. We're on the top of the first. Majors and Baycats. Here's the pitch from Benitez on the ground to second. And the throw to first in plenty of time from Francisco Hernandez. So the Majors strand a runner, and we played half an inning. No score here at Athletic Kulture Stadium.
Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Here come the Barrie Baycats as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Noel McGarry Doyle, the leadoff hitter, strides to the plate. Behind him, Brandon Hernandez and Francisco, his brother, batting third. Nolan Macabrota is the DH today in the cleanup spot. Tristan Clark in left bats fifth. Adam Ott at third base, batting sixth. Bottom third is Clayton Keys in right. Tyler Plumpton behind the plate, and Hayden Jaco at first base.
On the mound for London, Victor Payano. Mentioned his strikeout numbers, 105 on the year and 95 in the third inning, so he could eclipse the 100-inning mark today as well. A 6-3 record, a 3.21 ERA on the year.
32-year-old Dominican, second IBL season, and yeah, that strikeout to walk is as impressive as it gets. 105 strikeouts, as you mentioned, just 13 walks. This one high to left field, and it is foul.
Just kept slicing and slicing off the bat of Noel McGarry-Doyle. He got quite a bit of that baseball, but just a bit behind it.
That wind is blowing out to left field. It's not too windy up where we are, but looking at the flags, they've been showing a pretty strong wind this afternoon. There's a pitch just a little off 1-1. So Payano with 105 strikeouts, 13 walks. Compare that to Frank Garces at 113 strikeouts, 16 walks. Very similar numbers. Payano just a little bit behind Garces in both categories.
Payano faced the Baycats once this year in London. He went 6 scoreless, only allowed 2 hits, a walk, had 8 strikeouts in that game.
Another one to left field pretty deep. This one might stay fair. No. Not quite as deep as the last one and just a little bit closer to that line, but you saw the wind just knock that one down and blow it to the left.
Yeah, similar with that first ball we saw kind of pushed out there. Now if you're Victor Payano, you might realize, hey, you might be behind my fastball a little bit and try and take advantage.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. This one hit to the right side and through into right field for a base hit. So the Baycats get the leadoff man aboard, and Brandon Hernandez comes to the plate.
Well, here's the defense for the London Majors behind Victor Payano. Tucker Studick in left field, Toby Simmons in center, Ken Sugi in right field. On the infield, Brad Verhoeven at third, Francisco Fajardo at short, Ty Mosher at second, Rafael Peltier gets the start at first, and Eduardo Diolio is behind the plate.
Manager Josh Matlow had the luxury of giving Baycats ace Frank Garces the weekend off, so he did so, although we're told Frank might be available today if it came down to a situation where he was needed, but they want him to be rested for game 1 of the opening series.
So there's a strong chance that we could see Frank Garces pitch on Thursday on 2 full weeks of rest.
I'm sure fans would have loved to see a Payano-Garces matchup here today, but I wouldn't rule that out for a round 2 series between these 2 clubs.
No, that was the matchup in London the one time Payano faced the Baycats earlier this year. Frank Garces went 7 perfect.
0-2 on the way to Brandon Hernandez. Here it comes, off speed, and he hits it through into right field, past a sprawling Ty Mosher. McGarry-Doyle stops at second, 2 on, nobody out for the Baycats. Back-to-back singles off Victor Payano, and here comes Francisco Hernandez.
Brandon Hernandez saw that breaking ball right out of the hand of Payano early and got out in front of it, hit it over to the right side.
So here's Francisco Hernandez with 2 on and nobody out. And an early jam for Payano. He bunts it. A high hop. Payano off the mound. He's not going to have a play. Everybody's safe. 2 singles and a bunt. And the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Absolutely perfect bunt there from Francisco Hernandez. You can kind of see Brad Verhoeven at third. He was playing in at third base, maybe expecting a bunt to that side. But Hernandez instead pushed it toward first base where Peltier was still trying to hold on Brandon Hernandez at first. So perfectly placed bunt. No way Payano's going to have any shot anywhere.
Nolan Macabrota with 3 home runs, 33 RBIs, and a .325 average. He has been steady in that cleanup spot for the Baycats all season long, and a big moment for him here with the bases loaded and nobody out. Payano's first offering to him, and it misses low and away.
Baycats have not had a grand slam yet this year.
They have not. They've had some high-scoring games. Here's the pitch from Payano. Called strike, 1-1.
I think with those high-scoring games, like when they played the Maple Leafs a couple weeks ago, scored 20 runs. They didn't have a home run.
And the Baycats have been on both sides of some lopsided scores. The one you mentioned in Toronto, they scored 20. They had a game in Brantford where they gave up 15. Swing and a miss by Macabrota. 1-2.
It looks like a curveball there from Payano. Macabrota out in front of it. Sitting fastball on a 1-1.
Infield at double play depth here, shifted slightly to the right, Fajardo and Mosher. And it's a fly ball to center field. Simmons with a long way to go. Makes the catch. Runner tags. Here's the throw from Simmons. And it's not in time. A sac fly from Nolan Macabrota brings home Noel McGarry-Doyle. 1-0 Barrie.
Just tried to poke it out to center field. Didn't get a whole lot of it, but enough carry on it where Toby Simmons was able to make a relatively easy running catch, but the speed of Noel McGarry-Doyle was too much.
So nice job by Macabrota to bring in the game's first run, and 2 on with 1 out now for Tristan Clark. Clark in his first IBL season, .323 average, 9 homers, 32 RBIs. Just 2 behind Nolan Macabrota for the RBI lead after that 34th RBI by him and that sac fly. Adam Odd, the third baseman, on deck. Payano kicks and deals. Breaking ball for a strike. So Brandon Hernandez at second, Francisco Hernandez at first, and another pitch in the same spot. Right on the outside corner for a strike. Those are the kind of calls that Payano wants to get from Ryan Hern this afternoon.
Yeah, and they're going to be key towards the rest of this inning. Still only 1 out. Trying to bring some confidence back in your lineup after having the bases loaded.
Hernandez dancing around that bag. Here's the pitch. And the ball hits Payano, ricochets the other way. Here's the throw, not in time. That ball doesn't hit the pitcher. That might have been an inning double play.
Yeah, Payano did whatever he could. He tried to get in the way of that ball, knock it down. Had he been able to keep it in front of him, he would have been able to make the out at first, but took Fajardo totally out of his motion, had to go back on it, and no chance to get Clark at first.
You can imagine how quickly a pitcher needs to make that decision. You've got a fraction of a second to decide whether to knock it down or get out of the way. And another bases loaded situation here. Adam Odd at the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. A swing and a miss by Odd.
Odd 0 for 3 this year so far with the bases loaded. Missed some time, got married earlier this year. He was telling me before the game, everyone's locked in today. Everyone seems to be focused. The feel between the team is it's playoffs already.
Called strike. Odd not happy with the call. That was questionable. Odd better be careful. He was kind of prolonging his conversation with the umpire there and making a bit of a gesture as far as where he thought that ball was. Umpires can have a short fuse when it comes to those types of conversations, especially mid at bat. 0-2 pitch and a little defensive swing to keep the at bat alive.
Adam Odd was telling me before the game, he said this is probably the best batting practice we've had all year.
Today's batting practice. Wow. Love hearing that. He was at second base yesterday, third today. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Payano. Odd goes down 2 away, and now here's Clayton Keys.
Right fielder number 43, Clayton Keys.
Justin Groves got the start at second yesterday.
Where did Odd play yesterday?
He didn't play.
Oh, he didn't. All right. Sometimes these games sort of blur together in my head. 2 out. Keys at the plate. 7th Baycat to hit.
Groves got the start yesterday and got qualified, so he could play in the playoffs.
Payano's first pitch, called strike. Well, Payano has had base runners to deal with behind him this entire inning, right from the get-go. Noel McGarry-Doyle started this inning with a single. Scored on the sac fly by Macabrota. Baycats looking to add more. Here's the pitch, broken bat to short. Fajardo goes the short way to second, and it's in time for the out. So the Baycats only able to manage 1 run, and they leave 2 aboard as we go to the top of the second inning. 1-0 Baycats. Here on Baycats TV on YouTube and Rogers TV in Barrie.
About doing a renovation, but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
First inning of play is brought to you by Barrie's Grand Slam destination for dining, shopping, and fun. See you after the game, Park Place. Now it's time we'll check in with Maddie Gale.
Thanks, Julius. Both of the Hernandez brothers sat out yesterday's game due to a 1-game suspension. I was talking to them before the game, and they told me it's tough to be on the sidelines and not play, but it felt worse having to watch the team lose without being able to do anything to help. Brandon told me before the game that he's motivated and ready to return today, and he has some extra passion and energy coming back after yesterday's experience, which I feel like we did see in the first inning from both of them.
Thank you, Maddie. Yeah, obviously suspensions are never a good thing, but if there was a game to serve that suspension, yesterday was the day for it with absolutely nothing at stake between Barrie and Hamilton. It was all about today's game, and this is the one that matters. So they are back on the field and in the lineup here today. First pitch high from Benitez.
Juan Benitez was suspended as well, served that yesterday. He wasn't going to pitch anyway, so it kind of turned into kind of a nothing burger. It seemed like he was primed to pitch today's game anyway.
Pitching suspensions are always very interesting to me because, well, I mean, in the major leagues, they only pitch every 5 days at the most.
Yeah.
And so, using that rationale, should that be factored into the pitcher's suspension? Like, maybe they should have a lot more games that they have to miss because they're not on the field as often. I don't know.
It's also the argument where, let's say, a player gets suspended for injuring another player. Like, should they be suspended for the amount of time that other player has to miss time for their lineup?
Attaching the length of the suspension. But that's indefinite. Nobody knows for sure how much time the player is going to miss. So
yeah, exactly.
It makes sense, but it would be a hard thing to sort of imply. Second walk by Benitez as he loses the leadoff hitter here in the second inning.
Baseman number 28, Raphael Peltier.
Zdunek is aboard. Peltier to the plate. Benitez walked DeOlio in the first, but got a ground ball off the bat of Byron Reichstein.
We haven't seen Peltier in Barrie yet. He was kind of a deadline day pickup for the London Majors. Just finished his graduate year at University of Kentucky.
8th game, he squares to bunt, and it's foul. Hitting just .222. Brandon and Francisco just slightly shaded around to the right. Here's the pitch, another bunt. Pulls it back as it's upstairs. 1-1.
Pelche, a draft pick of the Texas Rangers back in 2019.
1 ball, 1 strike. Benitez to the belt. Delivers. Called strike. Pulled the bat back, but it was there, according to Ryan Hern.
Well, in theory, it's a good move to try and bunt Zdunek over.
Pitch from Benitez, high and away. I think I've seen more bunting this season than any in recent history in the IBL.
You gotta wonder what the strategy is across the league.
Called strike 3. Juan Benitez freezes Pelche. It's for IMP North, and it's the second for Juan today.
Third baseman number 12, Brad Verhoeven.
Caught Pelche absolutely frozen there, trying to bunt. You know, when you get to 2 strikes, it can be hard to kind of change your approach there, and Zdunek really had a hard time and couldn't pick up that fastball.
Well, in baseball in general, we've definitely seen a shift over the last decade with strikeouts and walks, high strikeouts, high walks. The totals just seem inflated everywhere. There's a line drive to right field. Down the line, it's a base hit. It goes all the way to the wall. And they are going to wave home Tucker Zdunek. Here comes the throw. Not in time. In with a double is Brad Verhoeven, and the London Majors get their first run of the game.
Verhoeven got all of that baseball, pulled it right down the line, and no shot for Clayton Keys to make a quick play on it. Had to go all the way to the wall. An easy round of third there for Tucker Zdunek to score and tie this game up.
So the walk from Benitez to Zdunek proves costly as the Majors are able to tie this one up early here in the top of the second inning. Verhoeven now at second with 1 out, and it's Ty Mosher, the number 8 hitter. On the ground to second. Hernandez scoops it up. Plenty of time, makes the throw. Up 90 feet goes Brad Verhoeven. So just to finish that thought, with the high strikeouts and walks that we've seen escalate over time, the last decade or so, I would say, it's kind of refreshing to see some small ball, seeing a lot of bunting. It kind of feels like home runs overall league-wide might be a little bit down this year. I don't have any hard data on that, but definitely seeing more bunting.
It's just more action involved when you get the small ball kind of play, right?
Runners in motion.
Yeah,
and
more exciting.
more defensive strategy. And if you're a baseball purist, you kind of like to see the game get back to its roots in that regard. This one fouled off sharply to the right.
When you think about it as well, as this came to mind for me, you compare like the CFL to the NFL. When you have all the receivers in motion in the CFL, it's a bit more exciting in that sense too.
Pitch is low and in. 2 balls and 1 strike here. I'll have to crunch some numbers and see if home runs are down in the IBL league-wide this year. Strikeouts aren't down. This one to right field for a base hit. It'll bring in another run. An RBI for Ken Sugi, and Brad Verhoeven scores. 2-1 Majors. They get their first lead of the afternoon.
First 2 hits for the Majors yield the first 2 runs. And it all started with a walk to Tucker Zdunek to lead this off.
Leadoff walks are never a good thing. And Juan Benitez still trying to wiggle his way out of the second inning. 2 down, back to the top of the order for Francisco Fajardo. Throw over, and just in time. Head first slide. Sugi is back. Sugi 4 for 5 in steal attempts this season. Has a pretty good lead. Does not go. Showing bunts again. Fajardo pulls it back. Had to get out of the way of that one. Runner goes. Pitches up high. Here's the throw down. The tag. It's there. Sugi caught stealing on a great throw from catcher Tyler Plumpton. And that'll get the Baycats off the field, but not before London strikes twice. It's 2-1 Majors after an inning and a half here at Athletic Kulture Stadium.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the Intercounty Baseball League and the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission in any form is strictly prohibited. Tyler Plumpton comes to the plate for the Baycats here in the bottom of the second inning. Barrie trailing for the first time today, 2-1.
Well, Tyler Plumpton, it's always funny how you make a great defensive play and always seem to lead off the next inning. Tyler Plumpton getting Ken Sugi stealing to end that top of the second, trying to get things started again.
And Plumpton showing bunt. Picks up the ball and flips it up to catcher Eduardo De Olio. Boy, the Cardinals sure tested Plumpton's arm yesterday, and his arm actually seemed to get better as the game went on.
Yeah, the Cardinals got 4 steals on him, but he threw a couple key runners out late in the game.
Called strike to Plumpton, and then he throws out Ken Sugi to end the second. So we'll see how huge that ends up being. It was a 2-run top of the second for the Majors. Nothing better than a catcher who can get that third out of the inning for you on a caught stealing attempt. 1-1 from Payano. Change up for a strike. Payano showing some really impressive speed variance on these pitches early in this game. Makes it harder to catch up to the fastball. Called strike 3 to Plumpton. Plumpton looks over his shoulder and says, "Are you sure?" Heads back to the dugout. 1 away.
The second inning of play is brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate. Servicing Simcoe region for over a decade.
So 2 more strikeouts for Payano, and that brings his total up to 107.
So 6 back of Garces now for the league lead.
We'll keep our eye on that little stat for you through the game. I'm sure that'll be of interest to Majors fans specifically. This one hit to the gap. Right center field, it'll drop. It'll be extra bases. Jaco around first, into second. He'll hold up there with a 1-out double.
Well, it was Hayden Jaco that was kind of the catalyst for the Baycats offense yesterday. Had the only 2 hits in the first 6 innings, including a double. So him trying to get things started for his team early on against his former team. Turn it back to the top of the order. That's what makes him so valuable as a number 9 hitter right now. He's first few games of the year, he saw a little bit of time there. Gotta wonder if that might be a regular spot for him in the playoffs.
Baycats ended up with 8 hits in that game against Hamilton yesterday, but that includes that 9th inning rally where Barrie came back to make it a 7-4 game, and it was actually a nail-biter of a finish with Fernando Rodney on the mound to close it. And Barrie had the tying run at the plate. An impressive comeback, but it was too little too late. Well, you're right, for the first 2/3 of that game, Jaco had the only 2 hits for Barrie of the afternoon.
And Barrie didn't draw a walk until late in the game, so he was really their only base runner for much of the game.
Impressive pitching performance by Cardinals' Logan Tarkenton. This one on the ground, through into center field. They'll wave home Hayden Jaco. No throw. Baycats tie it 2-2.
When you do the right things to turn it back over to the top of the order, and Hayden Jaco did just that. Noel McGarry-Doyle comes through with his second hit of the game. It ties this game up. Still 1 out.
The 2 hits for McGarry-Doyle already today. That one drives in a run. And Brandon Hernandez comes to bat for Barrie. Brandon in his second year with the Baycats, brother Francisco in his first. Runner goes. Here's the throw down, the head first slide, the tag, not in time! The ball was dropped. Stolen base for Noel McGarry-Doyle.
It looked like that throw from DeOlio would have been there, but Francisco Fajardo not able to hold on to it. Would have had the tag down on McGarry-Doyle's legs, it looked like, before he got into second base.
5 steals in 8 attempts now for Noel. He's in scoring position for Brandon Hernandez. Payano checks the runner. Looks in. Kicks and delivers. Sliced foul left side over near the bullpen.
We were talking last half inning. You mentioned that you think home runs are down this year compared to last season, right?
You're going to prove me wrong, aren't you?
I'm going to prove you wrong. Across the league, 298 home runs last year. This year, 368.
Oh, so they're significantly the other direction. Strike 3, the tag is applied. 2 away.
But I think where you're coming from is that the Baycats really haven't used the long ball like they were last year. 45 home runs for Barrie. Actually, 28 last year.
28 last year. How many this year?
45. But it really didn't seem like they're relying on the long ball. Haven't hit a lot of home runs at home, I will say that.
Here's Francisco Hernandez with a runner on second. Here's the pitch. High fly ball right field. And a great sliding catch in right field by Ken Sugi. Throws it in. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. He made a quick throw in. I think he might have forgot how many outs there were, but that is the 3rd out. And what a catch by Sugi in right, sliding in foul territory to finish the inning. So the Baycats tie the game up. We're tied 2-2 through 2 here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Ben Davy, Julius Hern, Matty Gale. Game 42, the final regular season game here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. London Majors, Barrie Baycats, second place at stake, and it is a 2-2 tie. As we head to the top of the third inning, here's leadoff hitter Francisco Fajardo. First pitch from Benitez, bounces up, ball one. Fajardo grounded out to open the ball game. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Baycats. 2 runs, 2 hits for London. Benitez behind here, 2-0 to Fajardo.
Adam Odd playing in shallow at third base. Fajardo leads the IBL in sacrifice hits with 9. But it looks like he'll be taken on the way here now, 3-0.
Benitez has 2 walks so far. Gets a called strike to keep this at bat going. Deolio and Zadunik reaching via walks so far today. That one hit over the head of the third baseman and into left field. So the third hit of the game for the Majors. Leadoff man aboard. And here's Toby Simmons.
Well, the start to this game for Juan Benitez was so strong. He got Fajardo to ground out, Simmons to strike out looking. But second and third innings now, he's allowed the leadoff man on base. Especially now at the top of the order. And now Eduardo Deolio up, or on deck.
Man showing bunt to Simmons, pulls it back, gets a strike.
Dangerous part of this lineup, so you don't want to give the free passes.
And Fajardo draws a throw. It'll be interesting to see if Juan pitches inside a little bit more, maybe keeps the ball up with the Majors threatening to bunt so much here today.
He was pitching quite inside to Fajardo when he was up a moment ago.
In on the grass at third, the ball back to the mound. Benitez, one play, and it's the first for the out, but up 90 feet is Fajardo.
I'm surprised Juan didn't look at second. He might have had a play at second there. He got that ball rather fast off the mound. He's a great fielding pitcher.
It came back to him pretty quickly.
It seemed like he might have had a shot. If he was able to plant and make a strong throw over to second, could have had a shot to get Fajardo.
Eduardo Deolio, double-digit home runs, 11, 31 RBIs. Bats with a man at second here. First pitch strike from Benitez.
A large dancing lead at second base there from Francisco Fajardo. Francisco Hernandez was kind of rushing behind him, maybe expecting a look over.
Francisco kind of leaning in a little bit to his right. A high pop-up, foul territory. Is it playable? It's just out of the reach of the first baseman and over near the fence. Long way for Jaco to go, just couldn't get there in time. So the at-bat will continue 0-2 to Deolio. Benitez delivers, swing and a miss. A strikeout for IMP North. Deolio clearly frustrated, drops his bat. Chased that pitch and would love to have had that one back.
Yeah, Benitez had Deolio reaching pretty far over, whiffing on that pitch, and that's a big strikeout for Benitez, now getting 2 out and potential now to leave that runner in scoring position.
So 3 strikeouts, 2 walks for Juan now, and he faces Byron Reichstein, the cleanup hitter. Time is called. First pitch from Benitez, bounces up to the plate. Barrie Baycats will open round 1 of the playoffs here at home Thursday night. The official schedule has not been released yet, but we can tell you we will be here Thursday for the series opener. And the London Majors will open at home as well at Labatt Park in London. High fly ball, left field. Long way for Clark to go back. It is up and it is gone. Two-run homer for Byron Reichstein. The Majors are back on top.
Incredible opposite field power there from Byron Reichstein, the veteran. That ball just kept carrying and carrying. Tristan Clark had a great route to it, but no shot, ran out of room.
Left fielder number 44, Tucker Julius.
So the Majors get their biggest lead of the game. It's 4-2 London now, and Tyler Zdunek will come to the plate with the bases empty. Benitez still trying to get out of this top of the third.
The positive now for Benitez, you have a clean slate. No runners on behind you. You can kind of start to pitch out of the set again.
An impressive home run by Reichstein, as you mentioned, going the opposite way. It wasn't a monstrous swing, but he barreled up and squared that one cleanly.
He got everything on that pitch. It wasn't a full swing either.
Fouled at home plate. It's a ball and 2 strikes. So the Baycats out hitting the Majors, but trailing by 2 runs now. Juan Benitez needs a strikeout here. Here's the pitch on the way. Another high fly ball. Clark running back. And it is off the wall. It'll be extra bases. Zdunek in a second. He'll stop there, and the inning will continue. So 2 hard-hit balls off Juan Benitez. A home run and a double. Rafael Peltier will bat now.
Well, the Majors have taken advantage of every hit they have gotten in this game, now 5. But previous to Zdunek's double right there, every London batter that has gotten a hit and reached has scored.
Fouled off to the left.
So those previous 4 hits represent those 4 runs on the board right now for London.
Four-2 Majors. We're in the third. Here's the pitch. Gets it over for a strike. So the winner today gets the number 2 seed in the playoff standings and will face the Toronto Maple Leafs. If the Baycats can win, it'll be Toronto here on Thursday night. And if London wins, Guelph will visit. Either way, it'll be here at home. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout from Juan Benitez. It's brought to you by IMP North. But not before the Majors strike and score 2 more and make this a 4-2 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
No errors, 1 left on.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fentz from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Third inning of play is brought to you by Render 3D Quick, Canada's #1 architectural firm for 3D rendering. Go ahead.
Here's Nolan Macabrota. Macabrota will lead off the bottom of the 3rd for Barrie. Victor Payano on the mound. He has surrendered a run in each of his first 2 innings. Baycats will try to get to him again here. High fly ball. Center field. Calling for it and taking it as Toby Simmons went away.
Do that again. That's third inning of play. It's brought to you by Render 3D Quick, #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
Tristan Clark to the plate. Singled in the first. Clark went 2 for 4 yesterday against the Cardinals. Here's the pitch. And it's down, ball 1.
He was sitting in the number 4 spot yesterday, still behind Macabrota. Both of them started off that 9th inning with back-to-back doubles.
Made for an exciting finish in what looked to be a Hamilton rout through 8 innings, but Baycats able to get the tying run at the plate, and Fernando Rodney coming in with back-to-back strikeouts to wrap it up. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip.
I'm sure if you're the Hamilton Cardinals, you didn't expect Rodney to need to come into that game, considering it was a 7-run game at one point after 6 innings, and he pitched the night before.
That win for Hamilton moved them back up above the 500 mark by a game. Fly ball right field, foul territory, and is it playable? No, it'll bounce just outside the fence, or just on the warning track side of the fence. No chance for Ken Sugi. Sugi made one outstanding catch already
That
today.
was one of the best catches I've seen this year. I don't think we gave it enough credit in the moment, but that was an incredible effort from Ken Sugi. He's had a great rookie year.
That came off the bat of Francisco Hernandez to end the second. So here's Clark with a 2-2 count. Payano delivers. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Victor Payano. Adding him up, that gives him 4 here in the game today. 109 for the season. Adamant 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
So 108 now, or pardon me, 109 now for Victor Payano.
Called strike to Odd. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Payano's ready. He delivers, and it's up the middle. Scooped up by the second baseman. Running throw by Mosher. In time for the out on a great pick by Peltier at first. So a quick 3-up, 3-down inning for Victor Payano for the first time today. Barrie's quiet in the third. 4-2 London through 3 here at Athletic Kulture Stadium.
North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Majors up by 2 as we head to the top of the 4th. Let's check in once again with our own Maddie Gale.
Thanks, Ben. Hayden Jaco's back playing with the team this weekend before he leaves again. He said it feels good to be back with the group, and it feels like he never left. The chemistry is still there. Now, Jaco's a player who's very versatile and adds levels to the Barrie lineup. We saw him on first base, and now we see him in outfield. He told me it doesn't matter what position he's in, he's always going to give his best effort. He mentioned it's been tough not being here full-time this season. He misses the fans, the players, and the volunteers for the Barrie fan base, but he appreciates the support and connections he's built with the team. And I think I'm excited to see him back, even though he's going to head away soon again.
Thank you, Maddie. Brad Verhoeven will lead it off for London here in the top of the 4th inning against Juan Benitez.
And keep in mind now, Hayden Jaco moves from first to right field. Noah Hull in for Clayton Keys in the lineup now playing first.
On the ground, right side, Hernandez to Hull, who had to scamper back to the bag. Came off the bag a little bit. Looked like he might have tried to make a play on that one, but gets in position in time, 1 away. Here comes Ty Mosher. So the infield now from left to right is Odd, Brandon Hernandez, Francisco Hernandez, and Hull. The outfield left to right, Clark, McGarry Doyle, and Jaco. Benitez to Plumpton, bounces up to the plate.
Looks like it hit him.
Well, Mosher's aboard. 4th straight inning now that Benitez has had base runners.
Well, that was a theme in his last start against Kitchener. Had base runners in every inning that he appeared in, but still held the Panthers scoreless in that game.
This is Ken Sugi, number 9 hitter. Taking all the way, it's a called strike. Sugi with a big RBI single. In the 2nd inning, made an outstanding defensive catch as well. Sugi brought home Verhoeven with London's 2nd run. This one fouled off the screen. 4-2 Majors.
Talking about Hayden Jaco moving out to the outfield, it seems like he's going to have a lot of reps in the outfield during the playoffs, very similar to last year where he was kind of that everyman utility guy because he could pitch, he can catch, he could play everywhere on the field. But it seemed like last year he was getting a lot of the reps out in left field. Him and Nolan Macabrota were getting a lot of time out there.
Macabrota played left field quite a bit last year, and this year has settled more into a first base and occasional DH position, but lots of versatility from these Baycats defensively. Here's the throw. The tag is not in time. Noah Hull, Adam Odd, Hayden Jaco, all guys who can play a variety of positions. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pitch from Benitez, and it's a called strike 3. It's for IMP North, 2 down in the inning.
Shortstop, number 6, Francisco Fajardo.
5 strikeouts for Benitez. Here comes Fajardo. Thought about bunting, pulls it back. He's ahead in the count, 1-0.
Benitez, you wouldn't necessarily think of him as a strikeout pitcher, but he's got 5 already in this game through 3 2/3. But he knows how to get the big strikeout when he needs it.
Got a strikeout to end the 3rd, and that was a huge one. The Majors added 2 runs in the top half of that inning.
It seems like when there's runners on base behind him and there's 1 out, he knows how to get that big strikeout to get the all-important 2nd out.
Toby Simmons is on deck. There's a bunt from Fajardo. Quick throw to first, a head-first slide, and the throw is there. Great play by Adam Odd to make the running throw to get the 3rd out of the inning. We have played 3.5. It's still 4-2 London here at Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Fourth inning of play is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
Ben Davy, Julius Hern, Matty Gale. It is the final home game for the Baycats, final regular season game for both of these teams. Game number 42, second place on the line. And that may not sound like a big deal, but if both of these teams advance to the second round of the playoffs, today's game would determine who gets the decisive game at home and who gets to open at home. Noah Hull, up for the Baycats. But Clayton Keys removed from the game after one at bat. He's 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice. Hits this one to right field pretty deep. It'll go all the way to the wall and bounces off the top of the fence. It's a double for Hull. He'll head in there standing up to get on board to start off the fourth here for the Baycats.
Powerful start for Barrie to get this bottom of the fourth inning underway. We were talking about earlier in this game, maybe why Noah Hull wasn't in the starting lineup today, but he gets put in as a defensive replacement for Clayton Keys, and it seems to have paid off immediately for Josh Matlow.
Tyler Plumpton will bat now for the Baycats. Hull scored a couple of runs in yesterday's game. Plumpton showing bunt, pulls it back, and he hits it off the glove of the third baseman into left field. Rounding third is Hull. Baycats make it a 4-3 game. What a nice piece of hitting by Tyler Plumpton.
What an incredible approach there from Tyler Plumpton. He sees the entire infield move in on him. You see some kind of rotation there with Fajardo kind of going behind Verhoeven, and he takes away the bunt. He swings away, and he sees the pitch, gets ahead of it out of the hand of Payano, and you couldn't have asked for a better result off the bat of Tyler Plumpton.
That is a piece of hitting that Pete Rose made famous with the term that I can't use on our broadcast here, but the idea is that you draw the third baseman in by squaring the bunt, pull the bat back, and then slap it by him. That's exactly what Tyler Plumpton did.
And that's not the first time we've seen it from him this year, because we've talked about this exact thing before in a previous home game. Having Plumpton in that 8 spot, so valuable.
Hayden Jaco to bat now, so runner at first. Nobody out. Payano to Jaco, and he fouls it back. Caught a piece of the mask of Eduardo De Olio. Looks like he's all right.
Jaco showed bunt on the first pitch of this at-bat and swings away on the second pitch.
Is there a player on either team that hasn't shown bunt at some point today? It just seems to be the theme of the day, and was the case yesterday as well. Every team seems to be thinking they need to play small ball to win now. Swing and a miss by Jaco. Strike 2.
Yeah, Verhoeven was playing a bit more shallow earlier in this at-bat and has since moved back.
1-2 pitch out of the way. Swing and a miss by Jaco. So for Payano, it's his 5th of the game and number 110 on the season.
Center fielder number 95, Noel McGarry.
We mentioned that Frank Garces not scheduled to play this weekend, but Josh Matlow wouldn't rule out putting him in. Do you think he might put him in if Payano passes him in the strikeout category? Just to I joke.
I was actually thinking about that earlier, and I can't see it. I can't fathom it.
It's such a stupid, silly thought. Not Frank coming into the game, but for that being the reason. Here's the throw to second for one, and no relay. So Plumpton erased 5-4. Give Noel McGarry Doyle a fielder's choice. That would be some pretty interesting drama, though, for fans that are following this. If Payano passed Garces, and then Garces came in late in the game and took the lead back.
But the thought is, does Garces really care that much about the strikeout lead?
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either.
He was pretty pumped, though, about it. I mean, it was the Baycats record that he set, the single-season total, so.
I shook his hand after the game, said, hey, congratulations, that's really cool, and he kind of played it off. He's like, oh, yeah, thanks.
I think probably, I shouldn't say this because I don't know, but setting the Baycats franchise record probably means more to Frank than the league high for the season.
I agree.
Because it certainly means a lot to Frank to be remembered as one of the all-time Baycat greats. Keep in mind, this is his second stint here. Thought that ball might have hit Hernandez, but it didn't.
I heard something. There was something. The ball hit something. You could hear it from up here.
Deolio.
It had to have been the top of his glove.
Because it wasn't Hernandez's bat. So up to second goes Noel McGarry Doyle. It'll be a pass ball. Brandon Hernandez at the plate. Francisco Hernandez on deck. 2-0 the count.
Rafael Pelletier was bent over there. Not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. He's looking at his glove. I was wondering if it might be an equipment issue, but he's going to stay out there. Looks like everything's all right. A long look in from Payano here. He's ready. Hernandez waggles the bat. 2-0 on the way. Misses away. 3-0. Baycats putting up a run in the first, second, and fourth innings here today. Looking for more here in the fourth. 2 outs and a 3-0 count. Here's the pitch on the way. Ball 4. So Brandon to first. Brother Francisco will bat. 2 out in the inning. Let's check in again with Maddie Gale.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, Clayton Keys was taken out of the game. It looks like he was taken out for precautionary reasons. He's been having some quad pain, and it definitely he told me it set off today as well. He just wants to be in best shape come playoff time, but he's all good.
Well, we've seen it before, injuries on the final game of the regular season impacting playoffs, and that's certainly not a situation anybody wants to have happen. So out of an abundance of caution, this is a good time to take those measures. So 2 on, 2 out. A first pitch strike to Francisco Hernandez.
Well, especially when you got a guy like Noah Hall on the bench, not in your starting lineup today. That's a really nice, piece to have, just kind of sitting on your bench, a guy that's starting lineup quality heading into the playoffs.
Payano delivers, swing and a miss by Hernandez. 0-2. Payano's next strikeout will be his 6th and his 111th of the season. Some stretching in the Majors bullpen. Group Chanderdad out of the dugout, taking a look to see who's down there. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Payano gets a strikeout to end the inning. Baycats make it a 4-3 ball game. We've played 4. Julius will be on the mic for innings 5 and 6 when we return. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Top of the fifth inning. It's a game where the winner gets second place in the IBL ahead of the playoffs, which start later this week. London Majors up 4-3 over the Baycats. Julius Hern, Ben Davy, Matty Gale along with you. Juan Benitez out for inning number 5 of his final outing of the regular season. Toby Simmons to lead off for London. It takes a first pitch just outside.
That'll be either the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Guelph Royals here on Thursday night to open round 1 of the postseason for the Baycats.
1-0 from Benitez. Fly ball out to left center field. Heading back is McGarry Doyle. Will he make the catch in front of the track? He does. Crashing into the wall. A nice running catch there from Noel McGarry Doyle. 1 down.
Well, he makes it look so easy in the outfield, and plays like that. That ball had a little bit of carry to it, and he had to go back pretty far, just a few feet in front of the warning track to make that catch, but he kept his eye on it and tracked it all the way for the out.
It's just like that home run from Byron Reichstein back in the 3rd. Going the other way with it, he was, and it just kept carrying towards left center field and eventually clearing the fence. This is Eduardo De Olio. Walked and struck out. First pitch just outside.
Yeah, the wind typically blows to left field here, but it's been blowing out a little bit more the last couple of days. Certainly today the wind has been blowing out more.
On the ground, right side. Long way to go here for Benitez. He's got to take it to the bag himself and get out number 2.
Great job by Juan. He saw the bag was right in front of him there. Noah Hall got out of the way, and there was no miscommunication there as far as whether Juan was going to try to make an underhand toss or a tag. He knew he could win the foot race, and he kept it simple.
The rare 1U going in my scorebook. I don't think I've written that all year long.
You don't see that often, but we had that a lot with sandlot games where we were short players defensively. Sometimes the pitcher would have to just run over to first base because the first baseman would be playing so far off.
Like a 3-man infield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pitcher was busy.
1-0 here to Byron Reichstein. Takes strike. It's 1-1. Benitez ready, he deals. That one just low. Reichstein, his home run has the Majors out in front. Barrie's since tacked on one more to their line. But it was his 2-run homer back in the 3rd that has London out 4-3. Called strike, it's 2-2.
You know, I was thinking about this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it would be impossible that the Baycats would face the same 3 opponents in the playoffs this year that they did last year in the same order. Toronto,
it's possible.
London, Guelph. It is possible.
It's possible.
Yeah. They would get Toronto if they win today, clinch the number 2 seed.
Because if they don't play Guelph in the first round, Guelph's locked into the 6th spot.
Guelph could win.
They would be on the other side of the bracket no matter what.
And as they did last year, if Guelph got to the finals, that's who they'd meet.
Yep.
So, wouldn't that be interesting?
3-2. Just inside. Reichstein takes a free pass to extend this top of the 5th.
Plumpton framed that pitch. Benitez leaned in, almost willing that call from Ryan Herron, but it was too far inside. He hasn't been calling that all game. No surprise, Reichstein with a good at-bat there to work a walk. Keep this inning alive.
On the ground, foul right side off the bat of Tucker's Dunick. Now I'm thinking about it. It wouldn't be possible. Because no matter what, 2, 3, and 6 are all going to be on the same side of the bracket.
So Barrie could beat Toronto in round 1.
And then play Guelph round 2, potentially. Line shot. Nice catch by Francisco Hernandez. Robbing Dunick of the hit and ending the frame. Juan Benitez gets out of the scoreless frame, but Barrie still trailing 4-3 halfway through this one. Benitez had some words there for Ryan Herron before he heads off to the dugout. Barrie's turn to bat, bottom of the 5th inning coming up. You're watching Baycats TV.
From Foreigner Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Bottom of the 5th inning brought to you by One-Eye Jack Barrie. Bring your same-day Baycats tickets before or after a game and get 10% off your bill.
We're halfway through the final game of the regular season for both the London Majors and Barrie Baycats. It's a 4-3 London lead heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. Victor Payano back on the hill for London. It'll be Nolan Macabrota, Tristan Clark, Adam Odd due up for the Baycats, who trail 4-3. It's still a very lively crowd here at Athletic Kulture Stadium, and the stakes are high. First pitch, a called strike to Nolan Macabrota, and you can tell what's on the line is second place here today, but it's just a different feel around the ballpark. Basically, playoff baseball has already started.
Well, that's what Josh Matlow said, the Baycats manager. Playoffs begin today.
Wild swing there from Macabrota. He fouled it away.
So a couple things to tie over from the last half of the inning. Juan Benitez came off the mound at the end of that inning, put his glove over his face, and had a very short, very direct conversation with home plate umpire Ryan Herron. He was not happy with the ball 4 to Byron Reichstein. It was inconsequential as he got Tyler Zdunek on the lineout to end the inning, but he thought that was a strike, and Ryan Herron called it inside.
Payano's 0-2 to Macabrota. Cut on and missed. Another K on the board for Victor Payano. Keeps climbing the ranks.
Left fielder number 6, Tristan Clark.
Also, we figured out during the commercial break, or you figured out, that it's not possible for Barrie to play the same 3 teams in order as they did last year, because if London played Guelph, one of those 2 teams would be eliminated, and that would erase that possibility.
So no matter what, these two teams, London and Barrie, will be on the same side of the bracket. Could face each other in round 2, but Guelph wouldn't be on the other side like they were. Guelph finished 4th in the standings last year. They're 6th right now, and that's where they'll end up at the end of the regular season. Tristan Clark, first pitch to him is outside.
See, it's all the time you spend doing March Madness brackets that allowed your brain to figure that out so much more quickly than me. Now, those are really hard to keep track of.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even bother.
Because that's 64 teams. We're talking about 1/8 of that. 1-1 from Payano to Clark, just high.
Well, at least we don't have any tiebreaker games or play-in games to worry about. Everyone's going to get in without any game 43 necessary. There could potentially be a tiebreaker here between Barrie and London that would come into play, but no extra game is necessary to determine that. They go by head-to-head as the first tiebreaker. But
2-1. That one just outside, 2-2. That last strikeout for Payano was his 7th on the day. He's now at 112. So the next one would tie Garces for the league lead. Tristan Clark awaits the 3-1. Flies that one foul out of play, counts full.
Well, and Jackfish have game 42 today. They take an 8-game winning streak into their regular season finale. They're red hot and have blown open a 7-game lead over London, 8 over Barrie. So they take the 2025 IBL pennant in convincing fashion.
And that game actually just went final moments ago. Kitchener topping the Jackfish 11-10. But they're going to be right back at it, playing each other in the playoffs in the first round for the second straight season.
11-10. Wow.
Tristan Clark draws a 1-out walk.
So a bit of a morale boost for Kitchener as they're clearly the underdog in that 1 versus 8 pairing. Even though they maybe didn't face the same Welland team that they're going to be facing in the playoff series opener, but still, just getting a win against them has to do something for team morale.
Yeah, Halen Knoll got the start for the Jackfish, typically in one of those high leverage relievers, but he allowed 10 earned runs on 16 hits in 4 innings. So definitely, kind of a B lineup for the Jackfish, knowing that they're going to play the same team in the playoffs.
And for Kitchener, it ends their 3-game losing streak, so certainly you don't want to go into the playoffs with a string of losses in a row.
Fouled away by Adam Odd.
What do you think of the Milwaukee Brewers right now with 14 straight wins?
14 straight wins is crazy.
Oh, we're told they lost today. How about that? Thank you, Sam McCoy behind us there to
Them
let
and the
us know.
2015 Blue Jays are the only teams to have multiple 11-game win streaks in the same season.
Sam was right on that. Why is Sam watching the Milwaukee Brewers?
I had the notification.
Not aware of it. He had a notification.
0-1 on the ground. Can they turn 2 in time? The throw from Fajardo gets Adam Odd by about a half step there. He grounds into an inning-ending double play. So Barrie still down by 1 as we head to the 6th inning. Victor Payano seemingly cruising through his first 5 innings. We head to the 6th inning, 4-3 London. You're watching Baycats TV.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
We head to the top of the 6th inning at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Still a 4-3 lead for the London Majors, and time now we check in with Matty Gale.
Thanks, Julius. I was talking to London GM Roop Chanderdat before the game, and he said the team's physically ready. He said it's more about the mentality they're bringing into each game, and how they approach each matchup mentally will determine the performance that they have. He notes that the roster has a lot of strong and talented players, and he's really impressed with them, but he believes execution and mindset will be the key difference. I also saw how interesting it was during batting practice today. It's incredible to see how involved he is. He's behind the players, coaching them while he's there. It's nice to see.
Thank you, Maddie. And roster really took shape at the deadline. Not a whole lot of moves during the season for Roop Chanderdat and the London Majors. Raphael Peltier, one of those moves. He skies this one to center field. Coming in is Noel McGarry-Doyle, calls off Brendan Hernandez to make the catch, one down.
Well, I'll say this about Roop Chanderdat. He is one of the most prepared managers that you'll find anywhere. He is ready to go. There's never any confusion. I'd put our own Josh Matlow near the top of that list as well. I mean, he's always thinking ahead, has a clear blueprint throughout the season of how things are going to go. And, of course, there's always twists and turns and winning streaks and losing streaks, but Roop navigates through that as well as any manager in this league. And he's a steady hand on the wheel.
Well, Roop's also a hockey GM. He's general manager for Komoko Kings, a junior B hockey team out in Southern Ontario. So it's he gets it from both sides too, in two different sports. So obviously, preparedness is so key. Trying to play chess, not checkers, against your fellow league mates, right?
Even just from an outsider's perspective, you can often tell which managers are more prepared than others. Just from talking to them, seeing how they conduct themselves, the pregame routine, all that sort of thing. And Roop seems to have everything just in place and in order.
You could argue that these two managers, Matlow and Chanderdat, are the top two in that category.
Wouldn't dispute that one bit.
Put Dina Ramel up there as well. That one in the dirt. This is Brad Verhoeven at an RBI double his first time up. Baycats out hitting London 8-5, but it's the Majors in the lead by 1. Benitez, the 1-1 inside.
Juan's got a nice little string of momentum going here. He's retired 6 of 7, walked Byron Reichstein, and he wasn't happy about that walk. He thought that he should have had the third strike on him.
He hasn't allowed a hit since the third. He's hit a batter and walked one. That one low and inside, so it moves to 3-1. Hit Ty Mosher with a pitch in the 4th. Walked Reichstein, as you mentioned, in the 5th. The only base runners he's allowed since the 3rd, and they've only gotten to first, haven't gotten into scoring position. 3-1. Foul back to the screen.
Yeah, if you go back to the 3rd, he's retired 8 of 10. A walk and a hit batter, the only two majors to reach. So, again, another game. We've seen this from Juan in the past. A little bit of trouble early on. Sometimes seems to settle down nicely and get stronger through the middle innings.
Fans getting behind Benitez. It's a 3-2. On the ground, foul right side towards the Baycats dugout.
Such a great crowd here today, and we certainly keep our fingers crossed for some good crowds through the first round of the playoffs. If you came late today, you probably had a hard time finding a bench to sit on.
A lot of fans having to stand along the rail. This might be the best crowd of the year. 3-2, fouled out of play over our heads.
Yeah, today's game really right up there with our Pack the Park crowds as far as attendance is
Absolutely.
concerned. It's great to see.
Not as much humidity as there was for a lot of this summer here today. It's really going to start to cool off this week, so should be much more comfortable weather for a lot of the fans coming out for the playoff games. Game 1 of the playoffs Thursday night against either Toronto or Guelph. Still yet to see what the result of this game is. Verhoeven calls time.
Yeah, either Toronto or Guelph, it'll be nice for the mileage for commuters who like to go watch those road games in the playoffs.
Here's the fans behind Benitez. The right-hander's 3-2 pitch. Soft liner over to Noah Hull, who makes the catch out in front of the outfield grass. 2 down.
Well, I just saw Frank Garces in uniform walking from the clubhouse to the dugout, and again, we don't expect him to pitch today, but he is here and would be ready if needed. It's a 1-run game. Anything's possible.
Garces, the always constant professional, he's even in his off days, was not talking to him yesterday, but was watching him even just kind of get that extra work in yesterday with some band workouts and regular pregame stuff you'd expect from a pitcher of his caliber, but even doing it on his off days.
His teammates love him. He always puts the team first and a fierce competitor.
Benitez falling behind here to tie Mosher. It's 2-0. Number 8 hitter, Ken Sugi, the number 9 hitter on deck.
Here it comes.
No action in either bullpen. This is shaping up to be a nice duel between Benitez and Payano. Here's the 2-0. Fly ball center field. Noah McGarry-Doyle having to go back on it in front of the track. Makes a running catch to retire Mosher and end the frame. Another 0 on the board for Juan Benitez in the 6th. Baycats trying to help him out in the bottom half. Still 4-3 in favor of the London Majors. You're watching Baycats TV.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
Majors and Baycats. It's 4-3 London as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Is for moving.ca. Two small men with big hearts moving. Your original Canadian two-men movers. When you think two men, think with big hearts. Your Canadian choice.
4-3 Majors, bottom of the 6th inning. Julius, Hern, Ben, Davy, Matty Gale along with you. Final regular season game for both London and Barrie. The winner of this game will take second place into the playoffs and play the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round. Victor Payano, 6th inning of work. First pitch to Noah Hall is just low. Hall came into the game defensively in the 4th for Clayton Keys. As Matty mentioned earlier, just a precautionary substitution for Clayton Keys, has been battling quad issues over the past month or so. Breaking ball away from Hall, it's 2-0. Hall led off the 4th and doubled off of Payano, later scored. That was the Baycats' 3rd run. 2-0 on the ground right side, and it gets past Raphael Pelche into right field. Curious to see if that gets scored a hit or an error, but nonetheless, the Baycats had the leadoff man on.
Well, Pelche didn't square himself to that ground ball, just reached out, and it's either all or nothing. He took a stab at it, and it got past his glove.
Scored an error against Raphael Pelche, first in the IBL.
That's a tough snag to make on a ball hit that hard coming up off the ground, and far better to move your feet, get it in front of you if you can, and knock it down at least, but Pelche unable to do so.
Wasn't much of a bounding ball, more of a roller towards first base. He could have squared up in front of it, instead took a stab and missed. This is Tyler Plumpton. Shows bunt and fouls it back of home plate.
So fans of both of these teams might be having the conversation today. Who would we rather play? Well, for Toronto. Well, if you look at the runs for and against, the Toronto Maple Leafs with a much better team offensively. With 268 runs scored, that's second highest in the league. Of course, they play home games at Christie Pitts, which has short outfield dimensions and all kinds of offense at that park. But the pitching for Toronto has been a real problem. 335, highest runs allowed total in the league.
Plumpton shows bunt, gets it back to Payano. He misplays it. Ball goes into foul territory. Plumpton's going to reach. Back-to-back errors for the London Majors defense to start off this sixth inning.
Well, the Majors defense kind of imploding here in this inning with back-to-back errors. That's something that I'm not sure has happened all season with London. They're one of the most fundamentally sound defensive teams in the league, but very costly errors from Peltier and now the pitcher Payano to create a dangerous situation with the Baycats batting 2 on, nobody out here in the sixth.
So we get a mound visit here from Roop Chanderdat. There is action in the Majors bullpen as he throws the baseball back towards the Baycats dugout. Ryan Bytel is the one throwing in the Majors bullpen, the righty. As the Majors infield and Roop Chanderdat confer on the mound. First mound visit charged to either team.
That's a mound visit?
As Peltier swaps gloves at the Majors dugout.
So going back to the Toronto-Guelph comparison, the Maple Leafs pitching has allowed 110 more runs than the Royals. So if you've got a hot-hitting lineup, you'd have to think that Toronto would be the more favorable opponent. Their run differential minus 67. Guelph with a positive run differential plus 8.
Jaco shows bunt, gets it down towards third. Tough play for Verhoeven, he throws it away. Here comes Hall, he will score. Jaco to second, Plumpton to third, he's getting the wave. Plumpton coming around, here's the throw, it's cut off. 2 runs coming on another London error.
Well, the Majors defensively did exactly what they planned with Verhoeven charging and Fajardo over to cover third. Unfortunately, the throw was terrible. And it couldn't have ended up in a worse spot. It went all the way down towards the London bullpen, and by the time anybody got there, 2 Baycats crossing home plate, making it a 5-4 game. So London's defense falling apart here in this bottom of the 6th inning. 3 errors. And there are still nobody out.
Third error of the season for Brad Verhoeven. It allows the Baycats to score 2 and take the lead. It's 5-4.
And clearly that's what that mound visit was all about.
McGarry Doyle bunts in front of home plate. DeOlio's throw is in time to get McGarry Doyle at first base. Jaco moves up to third. Bunt after bunt for the Baycats.
Well, first base coach Jeremy Allenbrook had the palms down. He thought McGarry Doyle beat out that throw.
It was a bang-bang play. It looked like the throw from DeOlio got him.
Very close.
So Brandon Hernandez up. Just 1 out. Jaco at third. Looks like a pitching change is imminent here from Roop Chanderdat. Fouled away off the bat of Hernandez. Off of Andrew White, the third base coach.
Gotta love the tenacity of the Baycats with 3 London errors in the inning and just continuing to force the issue, laying down bunts, forcing these infielders to make quick throws.
Infield all in here. And another one fouled away by Hernandez. It's 0-2.
Now back to that last play, Verhoeven made such a great play to charge from third and get to that ball, but unfortunately just a terrible throw. And Fajardo coming over from shortstop to cover at third. They might have got him with a good throw.
Everything was perfect in terms of the rotation on the infield on that play. Just the throw kind of sealed the deal. 5-4. Fouled away again by Hernandez the other way.
And you can tell they've worked on that before and had the mound visit to set it up.
With how well the Majors play fundamentally, No, you know that's the type of defensive structure they're going to have, especially with Roop Chanderdad as their manager. Another 0-2 from the lefty. Got on and missed. Foul tip into the glove. That's going to be strikeout number 113 for Payano, tying Frank Garces for the league lead.
A real feeble swing from Brandon Hernandez at that one. It looked like he was offering at it maybe just to foul it off and keep the at-bat going, but the strikeouts continue for Payano.
Roop Chanderdad hoping Payano can get through this 6th inning and give Ryan Bytel a clean inning heading into the 7th. This is Francisco Hernandez. First pitch just high.
So that's 8 and 113 for Payano now?
That's correct.
An outstanding performance despite trailing in this game.
Second start against the Baycats this year where he's had 8 strikeouts. 1-0 to Hernandez. That one's high and away.
Cool cat is laying on the stairs. He's sitting on the stairs right now.
Jaco the lead at third, dancing a little bit behind the lefty Payano. Here's the 2-0. That one called a strike.
Good pitch by Payano, and that's what he needs to do. Keep pounding that strike zone. Get that third out of the inning and keep the damage here in this bottom of the 6th minimal. It's been a nightmare for London.
Looks in. Sign from DeOlio. The 2-1. Just outside. A brave take there from Francisco Hernandez.
Just a little bit off the plate. Payano trying to paint the edge. Didn't get the call.
Hernandez awaits the 3-1. Does he have the green light? Takes ball 4. This inning continues. So another free pass for Francisco Hernandez.
Nolan Macabroda was the last person that Payano wanted to face in a situation like this here in the 6th inning. Baycats looking to add 2 runs already in this inning, and the defense has been out there for a long time in this heat. They have struggled. And now Payano's going to have to face one of the most dangerous hitters in the league with 2 on and 2 out.
Just saw Roop Chanderdad give the signal out to Ryan Bytel. This is going to be the last batter no matter what here for Victor Payano, whether he can get out of the inning or not. Runners on the corners, Nolan Macabroda at the dish. Takes a first pitch, straight away center field. Back on it is Simmons, and it's gone! A 3-run homer for Nolan Macabroda, breaking this one wide open.
Well, that makes the walk to Francisco Hernandez all that more costly, as we said right before the first pitch. Macabroda, one of the most dangerous hitters in the league. We know he's got power, and he hit that one to the deepest part of the ballpark. And Roop Chanderdad out a couple of feet in front of the dugout with the Majors bullpen warming up. He's going to leave him in to face the right-hander Tristan Clark.
I think now the clean slate behind Payano's the reason he's staying in this game. That one lined to third. It's caught by Verhoeven. And the Majors finally get out of the frame, but not before the Baycats put up a 5 spot. It's 8-4 heading into the 7th inning. Ben Davy back on the mic to call the rest of this one for you. You're watching Baycats TV.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
The race to Rio in front of the Baycat dugout at the top of the 7th inning. Always that particular game has really become a fan favorite, and the kids really enjoy it as well. Here we are at the top of the 7th inning. Juan Benitez and Victor Payano in a well-pitched game by both parties, despite an 8-4 score here. Benitez rolling right along. He's retired 10 of 12. Victor Payano today has struck out 8 to bring his season total to 113. So 12 runs in this game, but the pitchers have done well on both sides. This one through the legs of Benitez and into center field.
Not a whole lot Benitez could really do there, right through the wickets. You know, great diving attempt there from Brandon Hernandez, but perfectly placed ball there from Ken Sugi.
Yeah, if you're a pitcher, you put the glove down and either you get it or you don't. And unfortunately for Juan, it just missed his glove. No real chance for Hernandez despite the effort. So 1 on, nobody out for the Majors. Back to the top of the order we go for Francisco Fajardo. It's this one up the middle. Hernandez, nice backhand play. Makes the relay to short in time for the out. The throw to first, not in time. Well, they would have got a slower runner, that's for sure, but Sugi is retired at second. 4-6. Fajardo able to leg it out for a fielder's choice.
Really tough play there for Francisco Hernandez. He was almost behind his brother trying to make that flip out in front, the front part of the bag. And Brandon Hernandez did a great job getting that ball in time to make the out, but then have an attempt to get Fajardo at first base. Just the throw was kind of in the dirt. It kind of two-hopped Noah Hall and was able to make a pick.
That's a hard-earned fielder's choice for Francisco Fajardo. Fouled off to the left. Simmons today a strikeout, a sac bunt, and a flyout. Here's the pitch. Up high. Baycats up 8-4 on the strength of a 5-run sixth. 3 Majors errors led to their unraveling in that half inning.
So I think all 5 of those runs are going to be unearned.
Runner goes, pitch is high, throw from Plumpton. Got him! Second base runner today, Tyler Plumpton, is thrown out as he gets the speedster Francisco Fajardo 2 away.
Man, Tyler Plumpton has been so good defensively this weekend. He allowed 4 stolen bases to start the game in Hamilton, but now he's thrown each of the last 4 runners that have tried to steal on him out.
Called strike, 2-2. Juan Benitez had a 3-up, 3-down sixth. A pitch away from doing it again here in the 7th. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3! Juan Benitez gets Toby Simmons to end the 7th. It's stretch time here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Barrie on top 8-4. You're watching Rogers TV in Barrie and Baycats TV YouTube.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Right-hander number 24, Ryan Baycats.
Lively crowd here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Baycats on top by a score of 8-4.
Seventh inning of play is brought to you by Sleeman Beer. Real ones know.
And the Baycats fans feeling pretty good with their club on top by 4 runs as Adam Odd comes to the plate to face the first reliever of the afternoon for the Majors, Ryan Bytel.
Ryan Bytel, another right-hander out of the pen, saw the lefty Payano earlier on, so a bit of a different look here for Adam Odd to lead it off.
You saw Bytel here at Athletic Kulture Stadium earlier this season. Well, this crowd just saying happy birthday to Sandy Joy, and they announced that over the PA a couple of innings ago, but one of our most loyal and dedicated volunteers here at the ballpark, and of course takes part in the heave away dance with Avery Matlow behind home plate each bottom of the 7th inning. She's smiling big today, enjoying her birthday and enjoying this lead, I'm sure. Swing and a miss by Odd. Big rip, couldn't connect.
Bytel comes into this one, his 16th relief appearance this year, 2-2 record of 5.23 ERA in 22 1/3 innings.
And we are hearing unconfirmed reports that Frank Garces might be warming up in the Baycat bullpen right now.
He is warming up. I can see him.
I see a left hand. It looks like it's his. Hard to see through the umbrellas and the fans that have packed out that section of bleachers in front of the Barrie bullpen. Wouldn't that be something to see the Baycat ace get into this ball game? Hasn't pitched in a long time, so who knows if he'll come in. Maybe he's just getting his armor. A little bit of work.
He's in full uniform.
2-2, swing and a miss by Odd. So Bytel comes in here in the bottom of the 7th inning and gets a strikeout.
First baseman for 28, Noah Hall.
Tough afternoon for Odd. He's 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, a double play, and a ground out. He was a playoff hero last year. I have to think it's just a matter of time before he's able to find that same rhythm that he had a year ago. Noah Hull came into the game as a replacement for Clayton Keys. Takes the number 7 spot in the batting order, and he's reached base twice and scored twice. Doubled and reached on an error.
I mentioned Ryan Bytel, pardon me. He's pitched against the Baycats this year 3 times before today.
A high pop-up left side, playable. Verhoeven over, and it drops. Right in that Bermuda Triangle, Verhoeven, Fajardo, and Zdunek all converging. Looked like maybe it was probably Verhoeven's catch to make, but a hard catch for him to make with his back to the play. All 3 of them came in.
If Tucker Zdunek thought he was close enough to make that catch, that's his ball all the way coming in from the left field spot. Both infielders having to go back a considerable amount to go get that ball.
If he calls them off, then they're able to bail out of the way and let him take that all the way, but it didn't look like that happened. So
If this score holds up, we play Toronto. It's like last year.
Fajardo with a long way to go out there from the shortstop position and then run all the way back. So Bytel gave him an extra moment or so to get in place.
And Bytel's last appearance against the Baycats was here July 5th. Took the loss 2 2/3 innings. That was an extra innings comeback win for Barrie. He allowed 1 earned run on 1 hit.
1-2. All stays alive. The at-bat will continue. Tyler Plumpton on deck.
Yes, except the finals, which is
Ryan Bytel, the right-hander. To the belt, kicks, fires, high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three London errors on the board, all of them coming in the 6th, and that is the story of this game. A 5-run Barrie 6th gave them this 4-run lead, which they currently hold here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch from Bytel on the ground, right side. First baseman scoops it up. The relay to Bytel in time. Nice play by Peltier coming off the bag at first. Hull is retired. 2 outs for Bytel here in the 7th.
So if this score were to hold, it would be Toronto and Barrie in the first round. The teams went 3-3 against each other in the regular season. Meanwhile, London went 3-2 against the Guelph Royals.
Well, fans here in Barrie always love Highway 400 playoff series.
Be another first round matchup like we saw last year. And last year the home games were not particularly close. Baycats had 20 or more hits, 18 or more hits in each of those 2 games. Games 1 and 3 of the first round.
Baycats, of course, went 10-0 in the postseason last year. Ran the table en route to a championship victory against the Guelph Royals.
It's funny, the playoffs kind of worked, the inverse of what you really expect between the 2 ballparks here and at Christie Pitts. The game at Christie Pitts was really close, the 3-2 game. The games here were both blowouts.
Yeah, there were really only 2 games in that entire 10-game playoff run that the Baycats really, where the lead was in jeopardy. One was in Toronto. This one, right up the middle. Wow. Bytel threw the glove up. Would have been an incredible catch.
Right fielder number 55, Hayden.
Base hit keeps it going. So there was the game in Toronto that was close, and then, of course, game 1 here against the Guelph Royals. Barrie took that one in extra innings, but the other 8 Barrie wins were fairly convincing from what I can recall.
And there was a 3-run win for the Baycats in London. And I remember Carlos Sano having to come out and get the save in that game. But aside from that, there wasn't really save situations for the Baycats to have to convert.
Well, playoff dominance that will be talked about for a long time. This one off of DeOlio. It's called a wild pitch. Plumped into second. 1-0 to the number 9 hitter, Hayden Jaco.
Well, Sano also had a save in Game 3 of the finals. It was a 3-0 Barrie win.
So for fans who don't know, the great thing about games in Toronto is that you won't have to buy a ticket. You can just show up even for the postseason. It's free baseball down there for fans. So if it is Barrie Toronto, you'll get a chance to head down and enjoy those games. And Games 1, 3, and 5 will be here at Athletic Kulture Stadium, of course. Not a lot of parking on site, so always advisable to take the subway if you can. Get off at the Christie Street stop on the Bloor line. That's what I do. Called strike. 1-1. Somehow that one just caught the corner.
Yeah, breaking ball just kept drifting out towards that left-hand batter's box. Jaco wanted nothing to do with it.
DeOlio puts down the sign. Here's the pitch from Bytel. Up the middle again. A nice backhand play at second by Mosher. The throw to first in time for the out. So the Baycats strand a runner in the bottom of the 7th inning. They lead by 4 as we go to the 8th on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Just asked Gary how many strikeouts by him. This telecast is presented by the authority of the Intercounty Baseball League and the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission in any form is strictly prohibited.
Baycats manager Josh Matlow told us the playoffs begin today. And if you're wondering how important this game is to the Baycats, take a look at the man on the mound right now. Baycats ace and strikeout king, Frank Garces, will take the ball here for the top of the 8th inning.
So Frank Garces entered today as the IBL strikeout leader this year with 113. Victor Payano, 8 today to tie him, so he could cement himself as the strikeout king for this season with one more and extend the Baycats single season record, which he set his last time out at 113.
So Frank Garces surpassed Cesar Rosado for the Baycats single season record in his last appearance. We thought 113 would be the final total for the season as Frank was given the weekend off, but here he is.
Second relief appearance this year. He's 5-3 with a 2.27 ERA.
Fly ball, right field. Jaco in, dives, makes the catch. A great grab by Hayden Jaco, who came on as a defensive replacement for Clayton Keys, showing some fine athleticism there, one away. Here's Byron Reichstein.
Incredible effort there from Hayden Jaco. He had to dive to be able to make that catch. He was playing fairly deep out in right field with Eduardo DeOlio up power bat. A long way to come in to make that play.
So one away. Reichstein will bat now with nobody on here in the 8th inning. Garces fouls it off, or Reichstein fouls it off himself on that pitch from Garces. So, manager Josh Matlow obviously believing with the rest that Frank Garces will be fine for Thursday night for Game 1. That's the plan. He is the ace of this rotation and will start the series opener against either Guelph or Toronto. This gives him the chance to keep those other arms in the bullpen fresh, I suppose. Swing and a miss by Reichstein.
Obviously, those guys are going to throw bullpens throughout the week to kind of get themselves prepared. You know, it's that rest versus rust argument, right? Before yesterday, the team had a week in between games.
0-2 pitch is high. Reichstein didn't chase. Taking all the way.
Yesterday's game was a stark contrast. Hamilton had played the night before. Baycats hadn't played in 7 days.
1-2 pitch. Fouled away. Reichstein just getting a piece to stay alive. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the IBL strikeout leader is Frank Garces.
Number 114 on the year for Garces. As mentioned earlier, Payano had tied him. He throws the ball back to the dugout.
Strikeout brought to you by IMP North, and a significant one for Frank Garces.
Here's another ball back to the dugout.
I think maybe Frank didn't realize the ball was already thrown there.
Well, he threw one back to the dugout and then got another baseball. I'm sure he just didn't like the baseball and then threw it back.
2 outs in the inning. Here's Zunick. So Garces will try to continue to add to that total. Do you think we see Garces back out for the 9th, Julius?
I think at this point you might as well. I mean, there is action in the bullpen right now.
No balls, 2 strikes. So the IBL strikeout leader will look to add another one here. An 0-2 count to Tucker Zdunek. Zdunek 1 for 2. He's reached base twice and scored. Here's the pitch from Garces on the way. Fouled off to the right.
There is a right-hander throwing in the Baycats bullpen. It's not Carlos Sano. A lot of umbrellas from our view. Can't quite get a great look. Jason Roach warming up for the Baycats.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Garces. High, they appeal, and he didn't go. Don Michel at third with the palms down. The at-bat will continue. I'm sure most of these fans here today didn't think they'd see Frank Garces pitching in this one, but here he comes. The pitch inside, 2-2.
Well, what a treat. You get a great start from Juan Benitez. 7 innings, allows 4 runs. Baycats get him some run support. You see Frank Garces come on relief for the second time of Benitez this year.
Talk about getting your money's worth. Seeing those two pitch in the same game. That's a rarity. 2-2 on the way from Garces. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 115 on the season for Frank Garces. He gets Reichstein and Zdunek back to back. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Majors in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the inning. Barrie on top by 4.
Thinking about doing a renovation, but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Barrie Baycats Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Eighth inning of play is brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Top of the order, Noel McGarry Doyle to lead it off for Barrie. Bottom of the eighth inning, it is an 8-4 Baycat lead. Second place on the line between the Majors and the Baycats. You could not have scripted this any better, folks, as these two teams on the field battling hard here today to determine who gets that all-important second seed, guaranteeing a home field advantage in a potential second-round series if either are able to advance. So both teams treating this like a playoff game here today. Colby Ring comes into the game. Tall left-hander for the Majors.
Ring, the former Cardinal, has pitched a couple times against the Baycats this year. This is 13th appearance of the year. 1-2 record, a 6.15 ERA.
On the ground, over the mound. Picked up by the shortstop. Fajardo, throw to first. In time for the outs. Want to send out some acknowledgments and thank yous to a whole bunch of people who have worked hard through this entire regular season, 21 home games for you here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV YouTube as we wrap up the regular season portion of our 2025 year. And big thank you going out to our media director, Sam McCoy, who does such a hard job keeping us all prepared and informed and everybody in place and ready to go for all of these broadcasts that we do every year, along with Brian Backland, who keeps all the equipment running and directs the games for us right behind us here. Yourself, Julius, Maddie Gale, and myself bringing you the action here on the microphones. But so many people away from the mics that work very hard and do some on-field stuff too to make this presentation as high quality as we're able to possibly bring you here from the ballpark every day. 2-0 pitch here from Ring. Foul back. Dylan Quinn, Bob Hurley, Rob Daniels, Jenna Marchand, Chloe Dunford, Ella Brown, Lucas Fleming, Ray Nelson, Jack Hine, Benjamin Guest-Lucido, Peyton Castellato, and Matthew Pinto. So a lot of people that you never get a chance to meet them or see them in person, but they're all part of what we do here every game.
It's a big production on and off the field. A lot of people work very hard and volunteer their time to put on a great show for the fans, and what you see on the field necessarily isn't necessarily what the entire show is.
High fly ball, center field. Simmons over in front of the left fielder to make the catch for the out. 2 down here.
Second baseman number 0, Francisco Hernandez.
Francisco Hernandez has a bunt, a walk, a strikeout, and a flyout today. You know, we didn't even mention the ticket takers and the ushers and other people around here that work the concessions and fan relations and things like that. So a whole ton of volunteers that are a part of our game day team to bring you Barrie Baycats baseball, both on television and here at the park. Two-0 pitch, called strike. Eight runs, 10 hits for the Baycats, 4 runs on 6 for the Majors. Ring's delivery, called strike, 2-2.
Yeah, but it's those 3 errors on the scoreboard that led to that 5-run sixth for Barrie. 3 straight errors for the London defense to start things off, and all those 5 runs unearned on Victor Payano.
Now, the errors were on weakly hit balls, too. They were all in the infield, if I'm recalling correctly. So,
a couple bunts and, some poor throws allowing runs to come in.
3-2 pitch on the way from Ring, and it's inside, ball 4. The inning will continue.
Well, Ring had done a nice job attacking the zone the first couple of batters he faced, but Francisco Hernandez, that bat got away from him a little bit.
Designated hitter number 20, Nolan Macabrota.
Well, that 5-run sixth, the story of the game, and it was punctuated by a 3-run bomb over the center field fence from this man, Nolan Macabrota. It was the walk to Francisco Hernandez that set it up for that 3-run homer. Pitch on the inside corner to him there, strike 1. Here's the pitch. And it's up high and just got away from the catcher all the way to third. Goes Francisco Hernandez on a wild pitch. I wasn't sure if that got a piece of Macabrota, but it didn't.
That ball went so high off the padding of Eduardo De Olio, it looked like it almost was going to come over the screen. But Francisco Hernandez saw that all the way. He was off as soon as that ball went in the dirt and didn't even hesitate to go to third base.
That's one of the highest bounces I have ever seen. Gives you an idea how dry that dirt is. Close, but just a little bit low.
Well, we saw the grounds crew before the game, too, really pounding out that home plate area before they chalked the boxes. They sprayed down the infield dirt, between the bases, but they don't necessarily spray the home plate area down either.
Francisco Hernandez, the runner at third. Here's the pitch from Ring. Called strike 3. At the letters, Macabrota thought it was upstairs, did not get the call, and a strikeout ends the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Last call for the Majors, trailing by 4 here at Athletic Kulture Stadium.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
Ninth inning of play is brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Well, they say not all heroes wear capes. Some heroes wear the number 97. Frank Garces out here to be a hero for the Baycats, to put a bow on this 2025 regular season and nail down this 8-4 lead, as he will come out for his second inning of work to try to shut down the London Majors here in the 9th inning and clinch second place for the Barrie Baycats heading into round one of the playoffs.
A 4-run lead, not a safe situation to start this inning, but definitely could be, and seeing a couple pinch hitters now come up for the Majors.
Josh Niles and Champ Garner will both bat. First pitch to Niles is a called strike.
So Niles taking this place of Peltier, and Garner will take the place of Verhoeven.
It's been a generous strike zone tonight for Ryan Hern, with a couple of exceptions, but for the most part, he's certainly been letting the pitchers paint the corners. 1-1 pitch, fouled over the screen. So Peltier today was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Verhoeven was 1 for 3. Looks like Garner's going to bat in his spot. If these scores hold, it'll be Barrie and Toronto in round one, and it'll be London and Guelph in that series. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball, right side. Calling for it is Jaco. To his right, he reaches up and makes the catch, one away. Here comes Champ Garner.
At bat for the Majors, number 19, Champ Garner.
Garner's really been a consistent starter for the Majors this year, but not in the starting lineup today. And watched him take batting practice, and he was hitting some balls quite hard in BP.
Just 6 hits for the Majors today off the combination of Juan Benitez and Frank Garces. This certainly feels like opening day of the playoffs. Baycats putting everybody in all the right spots to try to win this all-important game 42. Swing and a miss.
Garner was
win for the Baycats if it holds, puts them into a tie with London, and they advance on the tiebreaker to the number 2 seed.
Garner wasn't particularly close on that last swing and miss.
1-1. Fouled off the screen. A ball and 2 strikes. So if you're just joining us, Frank Garces got back-to-back strikeouts in the 8th inning to bring his season total to 115. That is a Baycat franchise record and the IBL leader this year. 1-2 pitch. Outside. 2-2.
Great take there from Garner. That was basically the same pitch that he swung and missed on for strike one.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Garces deals. Fouled off to the right. Did that bounce off the light standard? That was a weird carom off something. Souvenir for a fan, and it's a 2-2 count to Garner. Pitch from Garces. Swing and a miss! Strike 3! 116, the franchise record. It's brought to you by IMP North, and there are 2 out in the inning. Ty Mosher, the last bullet here for the Majors with 2 out in the 9th. Barrie up by 4. And the baseball fired back to the dugout again.
Well, Tyler Plumpton, as soon as he made the putout on the strikeout, threw the baseball to the dugout, but the one that Frank Garces got again, he didn't like.
116. Pitch to Mosher. Outside. Hit weakly down the line, and it's off of Mosher. Caught a piece of his foot or his instep.
Yeah, I think it went off the top of his foot. As he made the turn, it went kind of right off the curvature of top of his foot and stayed in fair territory.
So the count 1-1.
It should be 1-2, right?
Frank Garces looks in, gets the sign, delivers. Just missed.
We had a great crowd today, and a lot of them have stuck around through this whole game, especially with the high stakes.
Garces to Mosher. Ball 3. Frank Garces has not allowed a base runner since coming on in relief for Juan Benitez in the 8th inning. 5 up, 5 down. The Baycats an out away from a second-place finish in the 2025 IBL regular season standings. Here's the pitch from Garces. High fly ball, deep right field. Jaco back at the wall, looks up. It is off the wall. Karam's back to the warning track. He picks it up and fires it in. It is a double for Ty Mosher to keep the 9th alive.
Well, that ball looked like it had everything on it to clear the fence, but just off the maybe 3/4 high in front of Hayden Jaco, who got it back into the infield rather quickly. A great throw into Brandon Hernandez at short, but that's the first base runner Frank Garces will have behind him.
And it looks like Mosher's afternoon comes to an end as he's replaced for a pinch runner here. Ken Sugi will bat in the number 9 spot.
It's Jagan Chandradat running for Ty Mosher at second base.
Pinch running for the Majors is number 13, Jagan Chandradat.
Sugi today is 2 for 3, and he made an outstanding catch in right field earlier. Garces with a man on. Looks like Sugi may be getting some signals from Chandradat at second base. First pitch strike. And Tyler Plumpton picking up on that. He's going to head out to talk to his pitcher and perhaps change the sequencing.
There's also people up on the scaffolding that was made for Rogers.
8-4 Baycats, 2 out in the 9th. These fans chanting, "Let's go, Frank." To second, Hernandez. To first, bring on Toronto! Buckle up, fans. It'll be a Baycats Maple Leafs first round playoff series.
For the Majors in the 9th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1.
The Barrie Baycats defeat the London Majors by a score of 8-4 and clinch the number 2 seed in the IBL standings.
Both teams were treating this game like it was game 1 of the playoffs, but it was the Baycats, the beneficiary of a defensive collapse in the 6th inning by the Majors. 3 errors eventually leading to a 5 spot on the Baycats scoreline. They come out with an 8-4 win, putting out an A lineup. Frank Garces comes out, closes things out, extends the Baycats single season strikeout record, and taking into game 1 against Toronto Thursday night on a high note.
So that's our ball game. The Baycats win by a score of 8-4, 10 hits for Barrie, 6 for the Majors, and it's on to the postseason. We will be here to welcome the Toronto Maple Leafs on Thursday night at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Get your tickets online at barriebaycats.com, and of course the entire first round schedule will be posted up there very shortly as well. Hopefully we'll see you here at the ballpark. If not, we'll have all of the games for you here from Barrie on Rogers TV and Baycats TV on YouTube. For Matty Gale and my broadcast partner Julius Hern, I'm Ben Davy. Good evening from Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater.